we're not spending that amount of money, we're investing that amount of money.
So Mark Carney finally revealed his costed platform, the long-awaited Liberal plan to, in his words, unleash Canada's economic potential. And let me be clear, it's one of the most dishonest documents ever presented to Canadians under the guise of responsible governance. It's not a blueprint. It's not policy framework. It's not even a budget. It's a cover story meant to gaslight you. $130 billion smokescreen designed to convince you that the very man who helped build the Liberal swamp is suddenly the guy who's going to drain it. Now, let's not forget, Mark Carney isn't new to any of this. He's not a political outsider. He's not a reformer. This is the man who was whispering in Trudeau as his economic advisor. He's a climate Caesar and the so-called architect of the same tax, spend, and regulate to death model that drove this country's investment capital into the arms of the American producers. And now, just days before the election, Carney comes out on stage at the Durham College because nothing screams authenticity like staging your economic plan at a school you didn't even attend and announcing that he's going to spend $130 billion over 4 years, run a $60+ billion deficit, and balance it all with, wait for it, $28 billion in undefined cuts. That's not a plan. That's fantasy football with a footnote. He literally says, we're not spending, we're investing in. Right, just like Trudeau wasn't spending when he added $600 billion to the national debt. Just like the carbon tax was never going to go past $50 a ton. And just like budgets balance themselves. Let's look at the facts. $130 billion new spending. Most of it announced without detail or accountability. $62.3 billion in deficit in the current fiscal year. That's 1.9% of GDP. And a promise to magically whittle that down to by 2028 through technology attrition and reviewing consultant contracts. A projection of $20 billion in revenue from counter tariffs just this year. No projection past that. Why? Because they know this is just a one-time gimmick. And here's the kicker. Carney says this is prudent. Prudent? This is a guy with Cayman Island tax havens who co-chaired GFANZ while it collapsed under his leadership, who helped strangle Canadian resource development and now wants to be trusted with the national ledger. That's not prudence. That's a grift. Mark Carney is an economic grifter of the century. He sells respectability while burning your future. He sells prudence while piling on deficits. And he sells confidence while dodging every question about where the money is going to come from. And here's what makes it worse. Carney is calculated. He doesn't fumble it like Trudeau. He's smoother, slicker, more dangerous. He's repackaging the same failed Liberal policies with banker speak and international flair, hoping that you're too exhausted to notice. He's not promising to fix housing. He's promising more bureaucracy to coordinate housing. He's not promising to fix housing. He's promising you to live in a shipping container while his Brookfield buddies profit off it. He's not cutting red tape. He's relabeling it as capital investment. And when pressed on how he's going to find $28 billion in cuts, his answer is, we'll figure it out. That's not leadership. That's a Ponzi scheme in policy form. He even breaks with Trudeau's previous commitment to keep the deficit below 1% of GDP. Gone, scrapped. Because now Carney is in charge. He won't even pretend to be fiscally responsible anymore. And let's talk about his language. His platform refers to operating capital deficits like he's running a hedge fund, not a country. He's trying to redefine what the books look like so you won't notice the $28 billion in debt he's planning to rack up in 2028 alone. That's Enron-style accounting dressed up in a polite Canadian jargon. This is who the Liberals pick to sell you in on your future. A man who thinks GDP is just a graph to manipulate and that national sovereignty can be managed through a PowerPoint. He's not trying to fix anything. He's here to manage the decline. He's the final phase of Trudeauism, centralized, globalized, and totally unaccountable. He's what happens when you let the elites pick your leaders behind closed doors. So here's the bottom line. Mark Carney is not a fiscal hawk. He's not a pragmatist. He's a globalist accountant with a God complex and a campaign strategy that amounts to, trust me with your future, just don't look at the fine print. And if this man wins, the only thing he'll balance is the power between Ottawa and the World Economic Forum. And if you think $130 billion in spending from a man who helped destroy Canadian energy and hides profit in the Caymans is going to fix your grocery bill or help your kids buy a home, you might want to check your wallet, because Carney already has. Good night. And this election, you know who to vote for.